Have you ever finished a book, closed the cover, and instead of thinking about the ending, you found yourself wondering what the characters were doing next? Not because there was another book coming, but because somewhere along the way, they stopped feeling fictional. I have had that happen on more than one occasion. And these are the characters that I simply wasn't ready to leave behind.
Slow, turn the page, find your peace in this space, honey and prose. Welcome home.
Hey Book Nook crew, welcome back to Honey and Prose, where we talk about stories, softness, and the emotional experience of reading. I think that every reader has one character who lingers long after the last page. Not because they were the funniest or the smartest, but because they became real to you. These are mine. Let's start with Robbie from the Reformatory. You know those characters that awaken something protective in you? That was Robbie. The Reformatory follows a 12-year-old boy in Jim Crow, Florida, who is sent to a brutal reform school after trying to protect his sister. Once he's there, he discovers that the school is hiding horrifying secrets and that he can see the spirits of children who never made it out. I wasn't reading that book wondering how it would end. I was reading it thinking, please let this little boy be okay. I found myself turning the pages faster and faster because I needed to know if Robbie survived. Not because he was fictional, but because somewhere along the way, he stopped feeling fictional to me. And then there are Capone and Capadonna. And can I confess something? Every now and then, I still wonder what they're doing. I know they are fictional. They are fictional characters, but that is exactly my point. The Delgato series follows a powerful family that is navigating love and loyalty and betrayal, complicated relationships, and things that keep pulling them back together. And by the time I reached the end, I wasn't thinking about the plot anymore. I was thinking, well, what happens to them now? That's when I know a book has won. When I close it and my imagination refuses to. And then there is Dominic from Restore Me. Now, Restore Me, at the heart of the book, is about love, healing, and learning whether broken things can truly be put back together. But Dominic, he reminded me that strength doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes it's found in showing up, in loving consistently, in carrying more than people realize without asking for recognition. When I finished this book, I was not ready to leave this world. Dominic was one of those characters that not only made me smile, but he made me hopeful. Now, Annette stayed with me for a completely different reason. In God Don't Like Ugly, it follows Annette from childhood to adulthood as she goes through family dysfunction, betrayal, trauma, and the long journey of figuring out who she is. She frustrated me. She broke my heart. She made choices that had me talking back to the pages. But that's exactly why I loved her. She wasn't polished. She wasn't perfect. She was human. And by the end of the book, she didn't feel like a character anymore. She felt like somebody that I've grown up with. And finally, Quadzo. This one surprised me because I almost never met him. I almost put Blood Slaves down. I wasn't connecting with it because I don't do vampires. I was for sure that this book was not for me, but something told me to keep going. And I am so glad I did. The story follows enslaved people whose fight for freedom takes a turn when these extraordinary abilities come up that force them to confront both impossible choices and unimaginable danger. Somewhere in the middle of that journey, I stopped reading to see what would happen and started reading because I was rooting for Quadzo. By the last page, I wanted one more chapter. Not because the ending wasn't enough, but because I wasn't ready to let him go. And I do have to say, there is a part 2. If you don't know, now you know. I believe it's coming out August the 5th, called Blood Rising. So we get to know what is going to happen with Quadzo and Gertie and the gang after this uprising from blood slaves. You know, looking at this list, I just realized something. None of these characters are like different genres, different time periods, different personalities. The one thing that they all have in common is that they made me care. And maybe that's the highest compliment I can give a book. Not that it entertained me, not even that it surprised me, but that it introduced me to someone that I still think about long after I turn the last page. Now, I want to hear from you, as always. Who is the fictional character that you just weren't ready to say goodbye to? Tell me in the comments, because if they stayed with you, there is a chance that they'll stay with me too. And if you love talking about stories through the people who lived inside of them, I would love for you to join our little corner of the internet. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your favorite reading buddy, and subscribe to Honey Prose. Now, go drink something warm, pick up something good, and I will see you in the next chapter.
Sweet like honey, let it flow. Every line got a little soul.